Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate the leadership putting this hearing together. Over the last few months, the subcommittee has had the privilege of having the Nuclear Regulatory Commission testify before us multiple times. Throughout these conversations, the NRC, I've been vocal about my concerns relating to the life cycle of spent nuclear fuel. And during our last hearing with the Commission, Chairman Hansen identified that spent fuel storage and ultimate disposal remain key policy issues that we're still having to figure out how to contend with properly. I continue to believe that addressing the legacy of toxic waste associated with nuclear energy should be at the forefront of our conversations. Our biggest priority should be to protect public health and safety, and as such, it's also our shared responsibility to ensure that current and future nuclear fleets are licensed and operated safely. Luckily, data has indicated that the production of nuclear power in the United States is safe, largely due to the current processes and regulations in place. Of the 15 bills included in today's hearing, several reduce mandatory hearing and public notice requirements and change the environmental review process. Mr. Dorman, can you please explain what the current public notice and hearing processes look like?
Yes, sir. When a license application comes in and the staff has determined that it's complete and dockets it, the staff issues a notice in the Federal Register of an opportunity to comment and an opportunity for public hearing on that action. In addition, on the environmental review, we go out into the community and conduct what we call a scoping meeting, where we get the community's insights on the scope of issues at play in the environmental report for the site. And then for the draft environmental impact statement is noticed for comment, and then there's comment resolution in the staff reaching to a final environmental impact statement.
Okay. Can you please explain or discuss why the process was established the way it is and the importance of this process?
Well, I think part of it's governed by the Procedures Act, so there are legal requirements that we need to meet as well as under NEPA. But I think in the context of the Commission's strategic goals of building stakeholder confidence in the work that we do, we are very much engaged in the communities that may be impacted by our licensing decisions and making sure that they have the opportunity to hear and understand what we're doing to ensure that they're safe.
I think at the root of that you just described, the real purpose is because we live in the United States of America, where every human being who lives here has the right to know what's going on to the left of them, to the right of them, what's going on in their community, whether or not it's going to be safe or endanger them, et cetera. I've been legislating for 27 years now, and I heard one of my colleagues give a ridiculous comment that in China, for example, they can build a dam darn near overnight. That's a silly comparison, because in China, I don't think the people have the rights that we do in this country, and thank God we have the rights that we do in this country. And with that comes, unfortunately, processes that may cause complaint by those involved in the process. But at the end of the day, as was mentioned by Dr. Goff and you, Mr. Dorman, you agreed with one of my colleagues that public safety is at the root of everything that we should be concerned with and involved with in every step and every action that we take when it comes to nuclear facilities. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir. Safety is our focus.
Okay. Safety for people, right? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Can you similarly expand on what the current environmental review process looks like, its history, and the importance of each aspect of the process?
Well, I briefly touched on the sequence of events of the scoping and drafting, but it actually starts with the applicant doing site characterization and characterizing the environment of the site that they plan to work on and what they propose to do at that site, and exploration of alternatives. It includes an assessment of severe accident management alternatives, ways that if something adverse did happen, it could be mitigated. So it's a very detailed process looking at the site, the potential impacts to the site, alternatives, and mitigations.
And there are various levels of governments in the process: local government, state governments, federal government, all these different processes. Do you think there's a possibility that we could actually be more efficient by having more parallel tracks when and if, without compromising safety, without compromising informing the public, but perhaps more parallel tracks?
Parallel tracks and really a thorough understanding of the stakeholder community so that we engage them very early in the process so that all the issues get raised early so that they can be addressed efficiently.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I apologize, my time expired. I yield back.